When the Camaro Z28 first launched, it brought some very impressive things with it, among which was the initial price, which seemed almost a little bit shockingly high. There was a little bit of sticker shock. It was a $75,000 Camaro. Even nowadays, if someone told you $75,000 Camaro, you'd be like, whoa, that's quite a bit of money. But now they are used, and the prices you can get these for, some in the mid-40s, might be one of the best bang for your buck in terms of just a performance vehicle. If we start off with powertrain basics, this car came with a LS7 V8 sourced from a C6 Z06. It makes 505 horsepower and 481 pound-feet of torque, all naturally aspirated. The only transmission option is a Tremec 6-speed, rear-wheel drive only, and those are just the basic facts. I mean, that's not even the most exciting part of this Camaro. If we move outside to the wheels and tires, 305 suction tires all around, four corners, square stance. 305s, think about how wide that is. I believe it held the record for the widest front production tires on any vehicle until the Dodge Demon just came out, and I believe that's a little bit wider, but still, 305s are huge. They used to be from the factory. It's wrapped in Trofeo Rs, which are extremely sticky. Those are pretty much just race slicks. Moving up to the suspension, it was quite advanced. So back then, Magnetic Ride had been out. A lot of cars are coming out with Magnetic Ride suspension, which is an amazing system. They elected not to fit the Z20 of Magnetic Ride unless and they added DSSV dampers, which is it's quite complicated. If you look up the terminology and technology associated with it, it is a little bit overwhelming. Very, very fancy tech, pretty much F1 technology. So it is a Camaro with F1 derived suspension, the only other production car in the world to utilize this suspension system is an Aston Martin 177. So DSSV dampers, the spool valve, whatever the heck they're called, you've got a Z28, an Aston Martin 177, Formula 1 cars. That's pretty crazy. The one downside, though, is it does allow it to handle very, very well, but holy crap, this thing rides horrendously. Yes, I know it's a track car, blah, 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 but suspension systems like Magnetic Ride have shown how you can both have really great handling, but also composed ride and smooth ride. This is almost painful. It is very, very rough ride. So you have to be prepared for that. It's quite bad. But what it allows it to do is drive and handle amazingly. So I've driven a couple of these before. When it first launched way back when, I drove one, and I was so impressed at how just analog and linear and just the grip that you would feel. You would go through a corner at X miles per hour, and it was a nice, fun corner, and you would be like, oh, you come out of the corner, you're like, I could have taken that corner 40 miles an hour, maybe not 40, but 20 miles an hour faster. The limits of this car are so high, the adhesion, the way it's set up, it's so confident, it's crazy. Everything about the way this thing drives is around the driver. As indicated, this is a pure driver track car, so therefore, you want luxury amenities, don't get a Z28. Radio and AC had to be optioned into this vehicle. A lot of cars, you'd find them for sale. It had a radio with one speaker, a speaker, because it's like a federal law, I think, for seatbelt chime or something like that. You can option it back in. This car has it, because, I mean, if you want to drive it more than just pure track toy, you might want some semblance of a cooling or something like that. But, I mean, so there you go. Yeah, no radio AC. That's weight savings. There is no carpet in the trunk. No carpet whatsoever. Sound deadening is like all taken out. It's got thinner glass. There's so many of these things made so many of these changes that were made to just make this a very, very intense track vehicle. You got the aerodynamics, the huge front splitter, the spoiler out back, as I mentioned earlier, the bigger tires, and the whole thing is this thing looks hunkered down, evil. If we go to move on to the appearance of it, as soon as you see it, you're like, this is a track-capable vehicle. This does not look like an ordinary Camaro. This one is all black, so it does look quite evil, murdered out. But even regardless, whatever it is, the big splitter and the wing and everything about it, the way it sits, the wider tires, it looks aggressive and really, really mean. I don't really love the Camaros of this generation that much from a design standpoint, except for the Z28. Z28 is by far my favorite looking muscle car in the Camaro family from this generation. The interior, I mentioned briefly, is very Spartan basic. You get nice suede. The seats are decent. I think they're not as bolstered and comfortable and supportive. They're comfortable, but they're not as supportive and restrictive as something like you'd find in like a Shelby 350R with those Recaros. But it's basic. I mean, that's all you can say. I mean, that's what you're not expecting to get. A nice, very luxurious leather and latest tech of a big touchscreen in this car. You had the option AC in. One thing that does confuse me is, though, they went to all these lengths to save weight, but why are there still rear seats? What, like my Laguna Seca Boss 302, they deleted the rear seats. A Shelby 350R, they delete the rear seats. Get rid of the rear seats in this Camaro. There's no point to them whatsoever. This feels similar to most Camaros of this generation. It is plagued with the same issues of visibility. Your blind spots are just tremendously bad, and the windows and sills seem really high up, so visibility isn't great. But once you get in there, get your good driving position, the car just like, you feel like you're wearing the car. It just shrinks around you, and you can take corners and accelerate, and the shifter and pedals and everything are right in the perfect position for you that it just feels like an extension of you. You truly get comfortable in this vehicle, and you want to drive it hard. So driving a Camaro Z20 around on just public roads, staying within the reasonable confines of the law, you get the overarching impression that this thing is barely even trying on public roads. In order to get anywhere close to a limit, you need to go to an actual racetrack, because they're just so high. But you still get the whole feeling of this is a driver's car. It's built entirely around the driver and to reward you and allow you to do more and more things with it. I can't imagine what it would feel like to take this around a track. I would love to. On the roads, it rides quite harsh. There's a lot of compromise that you would make. You'd have to really want this vehicle to take it, because I mean, the tires, if you had stock tires, this one has different Pirelli P0s on it. If you're running stock tires, they won't work in the rain. They won't work if it's too cold outside. They're going to be expensive to run and maintain because they'll wear quickly. It's not comfortable. It rides very hard. There's not many luxury amenities in there. But despite all of that, you throw a couple of downshifts and take a corner at who knows how many miles an hour and just feel how everything comes together. It's truly set up in such an amazing way. So if we want to talk value, is there another car out there for, let's just say, less than $50,000 that provides an LS7 naturally aspirated V8, carbon ceramic brakes, F1 derived suspension, and a full track capable vehicle? I don't think so. From a pure driving perspective, the Shelby comes close to it, but again, those are still a little bit more money. I'm sure those will come down. It's a different type of vehicle. The character of this Camaro and the Shelby are very different. They both serve similar purposes in terms of being just full-out track-capable driver's vehicles, but the way they do it is different. It provides, that LS7 provides a mountain of torque, and oh my god, driving this thing it's also addicting in so many different ways. This is truly pretty dang awesome vehicle for the money. Hope you guys like this review. If you have any questions, please let me know. Comment below if you have any questions. Again, really good friends with the owner of the car. He's done a lot of research before buying it, but if you're looking for a fun track toy muscle car, the Z28 surely, I'd seriously consider one too if I was looking for something like this.